Hi guys, welcome to my channel, Mars 4 and Barnsey. I hope everybody's doing okay. What I want to do today is just concentrate on this feature, which is called the face on Mars. I think it was discovered in 1977 by I think it was Viking 1, and ever since then it's been a source of controversy, with researchers saying that it's an artificial structure in the likeness of a human being, and NASA and ESA etc saying that it's just a natural formation through trick of light and shadows. It just happens to look like a face. Well, if you've been watching my videos over the last year, you will I think you will have realised that the face is just one of many artificial structures throughout this area, throughout this region, and it's by no means the biggest or the most intricate of features. There's many more complicated and much more massive sculptures and structures, but it's important because if you've been following my narrative, it is the main focus of the individual that I've been following, because all this tells a story very similar to the Egyptian mythos, especially that of the divine lovers Isis and Osiris, and the triangle involving Seth, Osiris' brother. Because I do believe that the face on Mars is a representation of Osiris. Okay, you don't have to obviously believe that this is just my hypothesis, but if you look at all the other videos I've done, everything's indicating that whoever built these monuments had very strong connection to the earth. And don't ask me how, don't ask me why, somehow the ancient Egyptians, in their mythology, in their religion if you like, held a lot of beliefs and stories that we can relate to what we can see here. This seems to be the raw template of those Egyptian myths, because everything I've explained to you in them videos corresponds to features that we can see here, because it tells a story and of life, death, even rebirth. Everything reflects the mythology of ancient Egypt, and people have theorized for years that there was some kind of connection between the Egyptian mythologies and Mars, and I don't think people realise just how strong the connection was, because I mean I got the shock of my life when I started to look at these in any depth and noticed similarities between certain features and myths on Earth. And I genuinely think that this face, the face on Mars, represents the god that we call Osiris from Egyptian mythology. They might have called him something completely different. They might have called him Ted or John or whatever, I don't know, but we know him as Osiris, and everything points in that direction. Yeah. So I just want to concentrate on the face, because I want to point out a few things that maybe other researchers haven't seen for one reason or another. Okay. So I believe that the face was built perfect. It was never ever meant to be mirror imaged. You get a lot of researchers, and they'll draw a line down the centre, and then what they do is they will take a mirror image of the left hand side and place it on the right hand side and make a fully formed face. And I think other researchers have done it with this side and took a mirror image of the right hand side and placed it on this side. So some people think that we get a hybrid human being, and others think that we get something that looks like a lion. But in my opinion, I think the people who mirror image anything here, anything in this image, is making a big mistake, because these were never meant, none of them, nothing here was ever meant to be mirror imaged. But that's only my personal opinion. If you're going to build something 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 kilometers in length, you don't mirror image something that big. You can, maybe like a mask or a small item, yeah, that's okay, you can mirror image that, but there's no way that they're going to build something like the face, say, which is what, 2.5, 3 kilometers in length, and expect the public, their public, or whoever it was looking at this, to imagine the other side to it. There's absolutely no way that they're going to do that. And they didn't have to, because the secret of everything here that you can see is contour variety and duality. Like the skull, when I did I think my last video was the skull, which I just think's an amazing sculpture, which is actually two skulls, isn't it? Yeah, you've got one on the right hand side and you've got one on the left, and that was the secret of all these things: duality, contour variety. There was no need to mirror image anything, and I think mirror imaging the face was a terrible mistake, to be honest with you, because it seemed to take people's attention to in the wrong direction. I think people were so desperate to make the face symmetrical that one or two thought, oh, I know, let's mirror image it and let's see what happens, which is natural, but it's wrong, because the people that built these structures built them perfect. Let's just let me go to the. Now this is the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter shot of the face. It's supposed to be the highest resolution image you can get of the face, and this is the one that was on the bottom right, was the one taken by Viking that started it all. Now, nearly every single bit of detail has been taken out of this, by the way, guys, but I really can't be bothered going into all that. But we still get the basic shape of the face, the platform, and the left hand side still resembles a face. So I mean, it's a relatively good image, I suppose. But any detail, any buildings, sculptures, this is full of sculptures, will not be seen. Excuse me, because NASA have scrubbed it all out. Okay, I'm showing you this because we can still see the basic platform of the face, the eye, the nose, the mouth. Okay, but the main point for me to show you in showing you is that for contour variety to work, you can't have a fully symmetrical face. Okay, you can't have two eyes, two nostrils, you can't have two full lips, you can't have full of teeth, because you will not be able to create the contour variety that you need. Because if you create this symmetrical, if you were to turn this round 180 degrees, then you would not get this. You would not get the visage of what we're looking at now, which is a dead individual. Okay? Because through the way they've built it using contour variety, we can flip the image 180 degrees and we can see that we're now looking at the visage of a cadaver, or the death mask of an individual. Okay? But if this had been symmetrical, and say for example the mouth had been full of teeth and the two eyes, you would not have got the contour variety to produce this. Yeah. So you've got. So we're just looking at this side. The full face from this side is more subtle, because your brain forms a full face. You know, a little shade here might become another eye. You know, another circular feature here might become the nostrils. You might be able to see the other side of the lips on the right hand side. So you will produce the full face yourself. Your brain will produce it. Okay, I'm not talking pareidolia here, by the way. Okay, but so they don't need to create the full face, and they don't want to create the full face because they want the contour variety. So here we have Osiris here, right? And it's the last time we see Osiris alive. Okay, now because when we flicker over, he's now dead. He's deceased. We can see his closed eye. This part is now just like a boneless nose. It's it's a dead face, and here we have the downturned mouth, which was what the other side, which was the eye, and he's wearing a helmet. He's wearing a warrior's helmet. Yeah, and that's what I mean by the contour variety. And I believe that these are sculptures. I believe this side of the image, if we could see the real image, not obfuscated the way it is now, if we could see the details in this, we would see dozens upon dozens of like buildings and sculptures, but all we're seeing are the main features. But that's good enough, because I'm showing you one side Osiris is still alive. This side I'm showing you that he's died. He's now dead. Okay, and I believe these are sculptures on this side. I believe that's the face of Seth. There's his long nose. There's his eye. There's his jaw, his mouth and his jaw, and he's wearing some kind of face mask. And remember in one of the last videos, I said like Seth was accompanied by a bear, because Seth was supposed to be a prisoner in the Pleiades. He was supposed to be held in chains by the seven sisters of the Pleiades in Ursa Major, which is the great bear. And a few times I've seen Seth, and he's always been accompanied by a bear. It's no coincidence, and that's what I think. I think that's Seth, the long nose. He's always got a long nose, and I think this is the contour of a bear, symbolic contour of a bear. And here we have Osiris in his death mask. Now I'm going to show you. Just let me come out of that, and what I'm gonna do is I'll use the black and white because there's more. There's little. I want to come over to this side, the southern part of the image. I want to come down here, because this is where we're going to be heading now. So I want to sort of prove to you that I'm correct in what I'm saying about the face. So just let me open this up. Okay, so here we have Osiris, and this is the very last time we see him alive. This side is sculptures. I'm positive of it. I can't prove it because they don't even. I mean, they're not that good. But I'm absolutely convinced that these are sculptures, and I'm sure he's overlooked by a woman here, and maybe Seth here. I'm sure he is, but I can't really prove it because the images aren't good enough. But I'm convinced that far from being just a random grouping of rocks and eroded material, I think this side was full of sculptures. Okay, but I can't prove it, so I'm going to have to let that one go. But I'm just saying to you, that's what I think is there. It's not just random pile of rocks. But anyway, if we rotate this, so now this is the side where Osiris is deceased here. Just let me you might be able to see it a little bit better in the colour. So just we'll take this 100 here. Yeah. So in the ESSA images, we can still see Seth, the long nose, the eye, the mouth, and the bear here. Actually, you can see like structures on this. You can see more in this than you can do on the MRO, and this is supposed to be a lot inferior. But I just wanted to show you this side because if you look carefully, you can see the eyes here, and like he's wearing a warrior's helmet now. Okay, and this represents like the nose piece, if you like, that comes down. Okay, and there's the mouth here, and so he's wearing a warrior's helmet in death. Okay. So just let me go back to this because I'm going to show you, right, that this is the dead Osiris, a visage of the dead Osiris. Because if I take the line tool, so what we've got to do now is think about the orientation of the face. So if we take the line tool and place it on his eye and follow it, okay, so he's looking in this direction, and he's looking right the way through this passage here. Okay, that seems to have been cut right through this giant mesa. Okay, so it goes through the passageway and stops here. Okay, that's what he's looking at. I'm going to show you why now. Okay, so if you go back to the to our visage of the death mask of Osiris. Okay, there he is there, and this is where he's looking, and it goes straight through this passageway to this feature here. Okay, now this is amazing, this, by the way, guys, and this to me proves that I'm not a million miles away from, you know, being on the right track, if you like, because Osiris has now passed away, he's now deceased, and they say the eyes are the window to the soul, right? So what we have now is his eye has now become a launch pad, in a sense, for his soul. This is all symbolic. So his soul, he's dead, and his soul is now on a journey to being resurrected and being reborn. Okay, and that's why this is cut between through this mesa. It goes through the passageway and then it hits this here. right? Now this is the original image. I haven't done nothing to this, but it's not very good, to be honest with you. It's a black and white image from Essay, and it's a little bit faded. So what I've done is just brightened it up a little tiny bit. Okay, that's all I've done. Just brightened it. So I'll just put that in Adobe. Right. So his soul, his eye, his direction of the face is through the passageway, and it stops here. Okay. Now, when you look at this here, what I can see, this is what I can see, right? And then this is going to sound daft, but you've got to stay with me on it. You've just got to stay with me on it, right? And I'll try and explain. This here looks like a shellless snail. Okay, there's the antennae, there's the head, and there's the body. It's actually like a small mountain, and it's like a cliff face, like a mound, like a giant mound, many hundreds of feet high, and it's been shaped to look like a snail. And you might think to yourself, what the hell is he going on about, a snail? And don't get me wrong, I was exactly the same when I looked at it, and I couldn't get my head around why there would be an image of a snail. But I've also found other structures that look like snails. It's not on its own. Okay, but this culture, right, had a thing about birds. And if you have a look at one of my past videos, you'll see that I showed you Isis, the goddess of magic, actually had some birds in her hand, one over the shoulder and one across her palms. And it's full, Cydonia is full of geoglyphs and sculptures of birds. Okay, and the reason being because this culture believed in resurrection. They the same as the mythology of the Egyptians. They believed that when you died, you were reborn, and sometimes you were reborn as a bird. Your soul entered into the form of a bird, and that's how you rebirth. And the only in Egyptian mythology, in religion, when a pharaoh or somebody died, they often left food and water for the deceased, because the deceased were going to go on a journey through to the underworld, and they needed nourishment. Even in death, they still needed nourishment, so they often left food and water. Now, the only thing I can think of is that Osiris has died and his soul has become a bird, if you like, and this is nourishment for him. Because if you have a look carefully, what is the snail? What is the location of the snail that Osiris is looking at? Where is it? It's in a mouth. So here we can see a mouth, and it just so happens that that snail is in the middle of the mouth of what would be a symbolic demon or monster. Yeah, so there's the mouth, and you can even see this cliff face here is in the shape of two fangs coming down. Can you see that? That's like two fangs, and is the top part of the mouth, and the mouth is open, and we can see the eyes, we can see the rounded face, the bottom part of the jaw here, and it's even got like a ring in its nose. See, this would be the nose, and it's even got a ring in its nose with a round dome-like structure here in the centre of the ring. And so I think what we're looking at is some kind of symbolic creature, and the snail is in the mouth of this symbolic creature, because this is the start or the beginning of the journey of the resurrection, if you like, of Osiris. Because once he's had his nutrition, shall we say, and he will travel underground here, because in Egyptian mythology, that's what that's what you had to do. You had to go through trial and tribulations and underground passageways, and you had to face demons and monsters, and eventually it was all worth it, because you eventually reached paradise and lived forever, for eternity, in this paradise. Yeah. So I think that's what the soul, and that's why the face is orientated in such a manner, and to be looked through the passageway, and is directly, it's not even a fraction of a centimetre off this, it's looking directly at this. And to find something like a shell and a snail where it is, that's the only thing I can surmise, is that it's a symbolic offering of nutrition to the bird soul reborn for Osiris on his journey into this this symbolic demon, or maybe like a bull or something, because it's got like the ring in the nose. Yeah. And okay, so if he's journeyed under, he's under the ground here, and he's journeying. If you reach this area now, and don't forget we're talking now consort variety and duality, this demonic face, this monster, if you like, symbolic monster, is gradually changing into something else. Now, can you see what it is? What it's changing into? Can you see it? So round about there, round about that, there, it starts changing into this. And to me, it looks like a bird. Again, I know it's crazy. I can only explain what I'm seeing and try and give you an explanation for what it means, because this demonic face with the snail in the mouth is slowly transforming into what looks like a dead bird. There's the bulk of the body. There's the wing area with featherless now, obviously, because it's dead. Is the neck here? You see the neck, and then there's the head and the beak. There's the eye, and it's even got like a skin tag on the throat. When you see like chickens or turkeys even, and they've got this skin tag on the throat, it's even got the finer detail of that. Just let me rotate it 90 degrees. So here, this has been rotated 90 degrees now. We can see the length of this dead bird. So let me rotate it again. Now this is like sort of upside down, if you like. So we've come from this direction through the demon, and Osiris is coming into the body here now. He's underneath the ground. He's going through his trial and tribulations. Yeah. And you can even see like the body and the wing, the neck, the tag on the throat, and there we have the head and the beak, the pointy beak with the eye. Just let me yeah, it is. I know it's crazy, isn't it? But there it is. You can see it. You can actually see it. It's not pareidolia. It's not imagination. It's there. So anyway, he's travelling through this dead bird. Now, the only analogy I can make for this is that it represents something like the phoenix. And the phoenix died every 500 years and then was reborn on an altar of fire in either an egg or like a worm, and then it become another phoenix. So it was basically immortal. So we've got a connection between the immortal soul of Osiris being reborn, and it's going through this dead bird, which may, I'm only saying may, represent the dead phoenix, which also used to represent immortality, which is a connection, isn't it? Yeah, because that to me looks like a dead bird. And then if you just so figuratively speaking, symbolically speaking, he's going through and then he comes out, and then we've got another bird shape here, like a penguin or something like that, like this big bird, another bird. So we're coming down this direction now. But what I want you to have a look is this. here, because this is the main focus now of our narrative, if you like, because what we seem to have here, if you can see what I can see, is the profile of a human being, and you can see the eyes, you can see the nose, you can see the mouth, the chin, and this particular individual is wearing what to me looks like a crown of a bird. There's the head, you can actually see the eye there, and then it's got, like, you can see the beak, and then there's a wing that goes back. You can imagine like a helmet with the wings of Mercury. That's roughly what it looks like. So it's a human face, very highly contrasted out, by the way. I know that, I understand that, but that's the way it was published. I've just brightened it up a little bit, and he's wearing the crown of a bird. And here you can see his arm. See this here? This is his arm, and this is his hand here, and in his hand he's holding something. And when I very first saw this, I thought, well, is it another food offering? Is he eating something? But no. Once I understood what I was looking at, I realised that this here must be the reincarnated soul, if you like, within the body of a baby bird, a baby chick. And far from him wanting to eat this, he's actually looking at it. He's lovingly looking at the reborn Osiris. Can you see that? He's looking at this small thing in his hand here, which represents a baby chick. Yeah, can you see that? He's actually looking at it. I hope you can see that. So this is his upraised arm, this is his hand in like a sort of fist, and he's got the baby bird, and he's looking at it. And that's the only thing, that's the only analogy I can give you for what we're looking at. And what I've shown you is the symbolic rebirth of the god Osiris, or what we used to call the god Osiris. And the entire narrative of what I've shown you, very roughly, there's so much more in the image, but I've had to do it I've had to tone it down a little bit, to be honest with you, to get to this. That's, otherwise I'd still be making the first 2 or 3 videos. but yeah, so there we have, just let me see if I've got, I don't know whether, can you see that? See the bird, the crown with the beak. There's the baby bird. There's his upraised arm, and he's looking at it. Can you see him looking at it? I mean, the face to me looks perfect. Just let me open this, because I just want to show you something very quickly. Can you see the beak, the head, the eye, the wing? This baby bird. So there we have the reborn Osiris, and he's looking. Yeah, I call this, by the way, Ra, the sun god Ra. Okay, because it's so bright, and there's all sorts of structures all over this, and you can see where it's being cut out of the rock. You see where and this is flat. If you were to move this in another direction, it wouldn't even look like that face, because it's the contour variety I was talking to you about. And see this bird I was telling you about? This is proof, by the way, of image manipulation by the ESSA image specialists, because what they've done here, they've even put a smiley face on this. See that? The 2 eyes, the nose, smiley. See the smiley face? They've put, there's the hand with the 2 fingers in like a V shape for victory there, and they've even got like a big medallion hanging around its neck. See that? And what they're doing is giving us a signal that it's sort of like, well done, you're on the right track. Because I've seen other images of this, and it hasn't got a smiley face, and it doesn't have 2 fingers up in a V for victory, because this has got like a beak, like a long beak. But in this image, it's been you can't see it. It's been obscured so that we can see the smiley face. I didn't know whether to mention that to you. I mean, I have done anyway, because it's sort of like, it puts the ending on a little tiny bit of a downer, because they're taking us for fools basically, and this is the proof that they're taking us for fools there. But anyway, so I hope you can see that, guys. I hope you can see our reincarnated Osiris there, and he's looking at him. It's absolutely unbelievable. It's amazing. Okay, let me just come on to that. So let me open that. I'm just showing you this a few times because I just want you to understand. You can see the bird there. Can you see it? And then Osiris has been reincarnated here. Yeah. And can you see this bird? I have described this before on Bennu Island. It's a bird. There's the beak, there's the head, there's the outstretched wings, and the beak is looking directly here. It's looking at the reincarnated Osiris here. You see that? Okay then, guys, I hope you've enjoyed the video. I'm gonna do another video next time, just to emphasize this area, because there's hell of a lot in this area, and I just want to throw a little bit more proof in that this is who I say it is. And we've gone on a journey from the south of the image, and everything I've said is coherent. It follows a logical course, a logical conclusion, and I'm trying to give my hypothesis for why this culture will build these massive structures. And so far, what I've discovered in Earth mythology is replicated here. This could possibly be the raw template for a lot of mythologies on Earth. I don't know, but the connection is overwhelmingly strong in my humble opinion. And next video, I'm going to show you more stuff here to emphasize that I'm not a million miles away from being correct about what I'm pointing out here. Okay then, guys, thanks very much for watching. I've actually done another version of this. It's about an hour and 10 minutes now. So what I might do is I wasn't going to show it because it was a bit long, but this has turned out to be a bit long as well. But what I'll do is I might put the two of them out, because I've done them, so I may as well put them out there, and then you can, it's up to you whether you want to watch both of them or do you just want to watch this one. It's up to you. I've done it, so I'm going to put it out and see what you think. Please comment, and any questions, please ask me and I'll answer them if I possibly can. Thanks very much for watching, guys. We appreciate your time, and I'll see you soon in the next video. Good night.